Over the course of the last couple of weeks or so, that we got a bunch of new cards revealed. In that bunch was the Doomsy cards, an archetype with unique flexibility, having a couple of monsters that can get their effects off of being destroyed, as well as normal or special summon that happen to be level 4. These first few combos, I'll be focusing on the new cards before I get into any of that other stuff though. So I'm going to start here with the Doomsy 5 Amalth. It's a level 4 that reads, if this card is normal or special summoned, or destroyed by card effect, you can add one Doomsy monster from your deck to your hand, except Amalth. While this card is equipped with an equipped card quick effect, you can special summon one Wind Machine Exceed monster from your extra deck with a rank equal to this card's level. This is treated as an Exceed summon, and if you do, attach this card and all cards equipped to it to that monster. Now you'll notice that this is a little bit of a recurring theme. The Doomsy monsters can go into an Exceed monster that match their level to their rank, but you can only use each effect of Amalth once per turn. Now we're going to continue here by normal summoning it, and then use its effect in order to get ourselves the copy of Drostia. Drostia is our second new card. It reads, you can target one Doomsy card you control, destroy it, and if you do, special summon this card from your hand. Then, you can equip one spell from your deck to it. While this card is equipped with an equipped spell quick effect, you can special summon one Wind Machine Exceed monster from your extra deck with a rank equal to this card's level. This is treated as an Exceed summon, and if you do, attach this card and all cards equipped to it to that monster. You can only use each effect of Doomsy 0 Drostia once per turn. Now, the nice thing is how many hand traps you can potentially play around with this, because assuming your Amalth isn't hit by something like Imperm Ash or every hand trap that you can get hit by, if it were to get drolled, for example, you would be able to get the Drostia to your hand, special summon it, then you can get that equipped spell, pass on to your opponent, go into the Exceed monster with its quick effect, but you'll see how we're going to set that up momentarily, as we're going to use the effect of Drostia here in order to special summon it out, and then we can get ourselves the next new card, the Doomsy Command Doom Dirge. It's an equipped spell that reads, once per turn during the standby phase, inflict 500 damage to the equipped monster's controller. A Doomsy monster equipped with this card, or a Wind Monster Machine Exceed monster that has it as material gains these effects. Your opponent cannot target this card with card effects. Once per turn, quick effect, you can destroy one other face-up card you control. Also, until the end of this turn, this card gains attack equal to its own level rank times 100. It can attack directly. Also, if it battles, destroy it at the end of the damage step. So we're going to continue here by passing to our opponent, and at any point during our opponent's turn, you can use the effect of Drostia or Drastia, and then go into your next new card. This is the Drastius. It's a Wind rank 8 that reads, it takes 3 level 8 monsters. The first time this card would be destroyed by battle or card effect, each turn it is not destroyed. You can only use each of the following effects of Drastius once per turn. If this card is Exceed summoned, you can equip one other face-up monster on the field to it. When your opponent activates a monster effect on the field or in the graveyard quick effect, you can detach one material from this card, negate that effect. Then you can equip one face-up monster your opponent controls to this card. So this is a pretty crazy card with all those effects that allow it to interact with your opponent, protect itself, and also it gains the abilities that you have of the Doom Dirge, meaning that your opponent can't target it. Before you go into it, you can also use the effect of the equip spell to pop one of your own monsters and potentially start some plays like that. I think that it would probably take a little bit more support for something like that to be more relevant, as the deck still feels like it needs ways to pump more of its own stuff out if you aren't playing any supplementary engines like I'll show later on. But this is just the first wave of support, as with this I'll take you on to the next combo. Now for this next one we have Doomsy 7 Alara, another level 4, also a dragon that reads, if this card is normal or special summoned or destroyed by card effect, you can set one Doomsy spell trap from your deck. While this card is equipped with an equip card quick effect, you can special summon one Wind Machine Exceed monster from your extra deck with a rank equal to this card's level. This is treated as an Exceed summon, and if you do, attach this card and all cards equipped to it to that monster. You can only use each effect of Alara once per turn. So we're going to continue here by normal summoning it, and this will give us the ability to get our next new card, and this is going to be one of the cards that makes everything go, the Doomsy Raider. It's a continuous spell that reads, during your main phase, you can destroy one other Doomsy card in your hand or face-up field, then add it to your hand, or special summon one Doomsy monster from your deck. Also, you cannot special summon from the extra deck for the rest of this turn except Exceed monsters. If this card is destroyed by card effect, you can target one face-up monster on the field, destroy it. You can only use one Doomsy Raider effect per turn, and only once that turn. So important to note that you can only use one of those effects, but that is pretty fine since you are able to tutor something out from deck. There's a lot of ways that this can go from here on out, since you're just able to get yourself a special summon, then get yourself an ad off of the Doomsy Raider, or rather, off of the target of Doomsy Raider, as you'll see momentarily. But we're going to activate the Doomsy Raider, pop the Alara, as we'll then be able to special summon the Amalth, use the effect of Amalth, as we'll be able to add ourselves the copy of the Drastia, and now we'll be able to do pretty much what we did in the last time around, unless you do want to pop the Raider, potentially get something off of your opponent's board, and then go into a link climbing type of play, or even just have the extra body on board as an extender so that you can link climb with it alongside something else and then use the Drastia to go into an Exceed monster. But we're going to continue here by equipping the Doomdurs to it, as we'll then pass on to our opponent, and then at any point during our opponent's turn, you can go into your big rank 8. Now, for this next combo, we have Doomsy Raider plus any Doomsy card, and we're going to start here by activating the Raider, and then we can use its effect in order to destroy the Doomdurs or any other Doomsy card. Obviously, if you have the Amalth or the Alara, you'll get an additional effect, considering they do get their effects upon destruction. But we're going to bring out our Amalth, use the effect of Amalth in order to get our next new card, and this is the Power Patron Machine Doomsy. It's a level 1 machine monster that reads, you cannot special summon from the extra deck except Exceed monsters. You can only use each of the following effects of Machine Doomsy once per turn. You can target one other effect monster you control, special summon from your extra deck one Doomsy Exceed monster, or Jupiter the Power Patron of Destruction with a rank equal to that level of that monster you control, by using it as material. This is treated as an Exceed summon, and if you do, equip this card you control to it. If this card is destroyed, you can add one Doomsy card from your deck to your hand. Now, in my opinion, that last effect is probably the best effect for now that it has, being able to potentially destroy it with Raider, and then get that special summon off of Raider, as well as being able to chain block whatever Power Patron in the graveyard. You can do Power Patron Chainlink 1, whatever you special summon out Chainlink 2. But we're going to continue here by normal summoning the Power Patron. Now we can use its effect targeting the copy of Alara or Amalth. I don't remember. Yeah, that's Amalth. And we're going to bring out our Doomsy Break. I'm not even pronouncing that, but it takes 2 level 4 monsters. If this card is special summoned, you can destroy one Doomsy card in your hand or face up field. Then you can destroy one monster on the field. If this card is destroyed by battle or card effect while it has a Doomsy monster or immediate appear as material, you can add to your hand or send to the graveyard one equip spell from your deck. You can only use each effect of this Doomsy rank 4 once per turn. Now, do keep in mind, I actually didn't play Medius in any of these builds just because I don't feel there's enough good Archmage cards to really make this work. And I understand that Medius is a decent rank or level 4 extender that can get you into rank 4 plays, but I just feel like there's better stuff out there, as I'll show momentarily. But with this, we're now going to be able to use the effect of the rank 4 in order to pop the Power Patron, and we'll also be able to pop itself. This is important because you want to be able to chain block the Power Patron so that you can get your search freely. Now, do keep in mind, this requires you to get the equip spell alongside the Drastia, as we're going to then be able to use the effect of Drastia, pop the Raider, as we'll then be able to equip the Doomdurs onto it. And do keep in mind, if you didn't get the Doomdurs because it was hit by Ash Blossom or something, then the Drastia will be able to tutor it out, and then you can just pass on to your opponent, or you can do the rank 8 whenever you would like to, whether it be on your own turn, your opponent's turn. Now, for this next one, I would like to revisit Doomsy Raider alongside any other Doomsy card, except that this time we're going to go a little bit off script because we're not just going to be using the Doomsy cards. So we're going to start here by using the effect of Amalth in order to get ourselves the copy of Alara. Alara will then be able to get its effect on its normal summon, bringing us our next new card, and this is the Doomsy Destruction. It reads, target one Doomsy Exceed monster you control, equip this card to it as an equip card with this effect. Your opponent cannot add cards from the deck to the hand except by drawing them. If this card is destroyed by card effect, you can target one face-up monster on the field, equip one Doomsy monster from your deck to it. You can only use each effect of Doomsy Destruction once per turn. So basically a mistake or a droll that happens to be a trap card that you can search out with your Alara in order to make it part of your end board. But we're going to continue here with 2 level 4s to go into our Banshee, and then we can use the effect of the Banshee in order to get ourselves the copy of the X. And now we can use the effect of the X, sending away any rank 4 that you want to. At this point, I'm just sending away a second copy of it because I didn't have any targets that I wanted to send based on extra deck space, so that is something that could be changed. But we're going to continue here by using the effect of X in order to get ourselves the copy of Sword. Special summon out the Sword, use the effect of Sword in order to get ourselves the Star. Now we can go into our copy of the Duo Drive, use the effect of the Duo Drive in order to detach and get ourselves the copy of the Ice and Node. And from here, we'll then be able to go into our copy of the Eclipse Twins. Then we'll send away the Eclipse Twins in order to special summon out the Ice, use the effect of the Twins in order to get back our Duo Drive. We'll then attach the Doomsy onto it, use the effect of the Duo Drive in order to get an extra equip or attach so that we can detach it for our copy of the Star Riseal. Then we'll be able to use the effect of Star in order to get ourselves the Cross, and then we'll activate the Cross. We'll then be able to go into our Detonator, use the effect of Detonator, which will then be able to get the Eclipse Twins back onto it as material. From here, special summon out the Node, use the effect of Node sending away the Raider to bring back the copy of X, go into our Doomsy rank 4 so that we have a proper body for our Doomsy destruction, giving us the copy of Detonator, the Duo Drive, the Cross, which can detach from one of your Riseal Exceed monsters, and then you also have the Detonator protection in order to protect the Doomsy break. Now for this one, we have the Doomsy Raider alongside the Power Patron, and this is what I mentioned before, where with the Doomsy Raider, you can destroy your Power Patron, get that search alongside the special summon that you'll be able to get off of Doomsy Raider, but now we'll be able to chain block the Power Patron as well, getting ourselves the copy of Alara as Chainlink 2 and the Drastia as Chainlink 1. We'll now be able to normal summon the Alara, use its effect in order to get ourselves the copy of the Doomsy Destruction, and then from here you can either go into your rank 4 plays for the Riseal stuff, or you can go into your copy of the rank 4 break, the Doomsy one, I forget its name, but we're going to continue here by using the Drastia, and keep in mind I will alternate between the Riseal version and this version. I just really want to focus on the pure build, which is why I didn't go into the Riseal line there, but we're going to continue here by getting ourselves the Doom Dirge. We'll then use the effect of the rank 4 in order to get ourselves another copy of the Equip spell, use the effect of Drastia at any point during our opponent's turn or our turn, so that we can bring out our rank 8. It's the Drastius. Yeah, I keep on forgetting the names of these. I will say, I actually really do like their artwork, all things considered. I think that a lot of the artworks that we've seen similar to this before have been stuff like Zodiac, and even some of the other more feminine stuff, kind of like the Ollie decks that all happen to revolve around these anime cards and whatnot. It just feels like this is a different pacing that Konami has gone into, and I understand that we had the Visa stuff, and I know that there's been jokes about one of the cards looking a lot like the Ashtira field spell, but I also would like to point out that then we also have cards like Amalth and Alara that just look like there's something out of Dark Souls, which is something I really like, as Amalth reminds me of Vort of the Boreal Valley, if you know the reference. Now for this next one, I want to show off Doomsy Raider alongside the Amalth, and at this point we're going to activate the Raider. We'll then be able to use the Amalth as Chainlink 1 and the Alara as Chainlink 2. This will give us the destruction, as well as the ability to get the Drastia to our hand. We'll then use the Drastia popping the Alara. We'll then be able to get ourselves the Equip spell. From here, at any point during our opponent's turn, we'll be able to go into the Drastius, and we'll also have the destruction so that we can potentially quote-unquote droll our opponent or mistake or whatever you want to call it, while also having the Drastius on board. Now for the penultimate combo, we'll be jumping back into the Riseal combo, and I don't want to make this too lengthy as far as the Riseal stuff goes, because it really all comes down to what you're doing with your level 4s and whether you're going into Drastius or you're going into your Riseal line. And I know that a lot of people are probably sick of Riseal by now, and even though it's the first time I featured it on the channel, it's a deck that's been around for long enough that I just don't want to waste your guys' time on it. But we're going to go into our Banshee, as we'll then be able to use the effect of Banshee in order to get ourselves the copy of Ext. And from here, you've pretty much seen everything, as we're going to send our way our Diamond Direwolf or whatever else you want to send, get our copy of Sword, use the effect of Sword to get ourselves the copy of Ice. Here we'll then be able to go into our Duo Drive, use the effect of Duo Drive in order to get ourselves the copies of Star and the Node, as we'll then be able to go into our Eclipse Twins, follow the same exact line as we did before, where we're going to special summon out our Ice. We'll then be able to bring back our Duo Drive, equip or attach whatever you want to it, as we'll then be able to get back one of our Riseals that will end up detaching for the Star, use the effect of Star, which will get us the Cross, activate the Cross. We can then go into our Detonator, use the effect of Detonator so that we can get back one of our monsters to attached to it. In this case, the Eclipse Twins will then special summon out the Node. Node can send away the Raider. We'll then be able to get back the copy of Sword, go into the copy of the Doom Break or whatever it's called, so that we have monster for our destruction alongside our Riseal and board pieces that we can pass on to our opponent with. Now, for this final combo, we'll be featuring Doomsy Raider alongside the Alara. How you play this can vary depending on what are the other things in your hand, of course, because if you do want to go into your Riseal engine, you would be able to. But just for the sake of the combo and the sake of covering these new cards, I'm just going to feature the continuous spell alongside Alara. And we're going to get ourselves the Amulth alongside the Alara's Chainlink too, so that we can protect our Amulth from something like Ash Blossom. As we're going to get ourselves the Destruction onto the field, add ourselves the copy of Drastia. Now we'll be able to special summon out the copy of Drastia by destroying the Amulth. We'll then be able to get ourselves the... And with all of the combos out of the way, we can get onto the deck profile. Start, I'm going to be showing off the Riseal version, and you'll see the Magna Hut is here because it's just a hand trap that can search any dragon, and you're playing an archetype that's comprised of a lot of dragons. Now keep in mind the Power Patron is a machine. A lot of the starters that you want to see, like the Amulth or I guess the Alara, which can get you into the Raider, dragons that are most definitely worth searching. You also can add something like Drastia if you really need to. The point is that you aren't short of targets. I do play the 2 copies of Doom Dirge alongside the 2 copies of Destruction. I'm choosing not to play any other equip spell because while there are ways to kind of push out equip spells onto your Drastia and whatnot, just don't feel that it's worth breaking the consistency of the deck alongside its potential ceiling for adding cards that can be potentially bricks. Well, that said, is another card that I would like to read over. This is the Jupiter, the Power Patron of Destruction. It's a rank 10 that reads, once per turn, you can also exceed summon Jupiter by using a monster you control equipped with 3 or more equip cards. This card is exceed summoned. You can equip any number of appropriate equip spells from your graveyard to it. Gains 3000 attack while it has an exceed monster as material. Once per turn, you can detach 1 material from this card, special summon 1 Doomsy monster from your graveyard, then you can destroy 1 card on the field. So again, I think this is a card that you can potentially play once we get more support that allows it to really put out equip cards out there like that. I've really just decided to focus on the rank 4 aspect of this. Now, because it's just the Doomsy cards alongside a bunch of Riseal cards, I'm not really going to waste too much time talking about this build as I will with the pure build. So I'm just going to get onto the card by card, and we have the 2 copies of Drastia, the 1 copy of the Power Patron, the 3 copies of Amulth, the 3 copies of Alara, the 3 copies of Raider, the 1 copy of Cross, the 1 Talent, the 1 Magna Hut, the 1 copy of Lupus, the 1 copy of Node, the 1 copy of Star, the 2 Ext, the 2 copies of Ice, the 2 Swords, the 2 copies of Doom Dirge, the 2 copies of Destruction, the 3 Mulch Army. These hand traps could be whatever you want them to be, really. The 3 copies of Izuna, the 3 copies of Ash, and the 3 copies of Droll. Onto the extra deck, we have the 1 copy of the Gorgon, the 1 copy of SP, the 1 copy of IP. If you want to play these spheres, you still obviously can, but then we have the 2 copies of Drastius, the 1 copy of the Sky Blaster, which is a card that you'll want to play for the 9 engine, but then we have the 1 copy of Ripper, the 2 copies of the Break, we then have the 1 copy of the Duo Drive, the 1 Detonator, the Eclipse Twins, we then have the 1 Banshee, Diamond Direwolf, which if you want to switch this into the spheres, you still can, and then we have the number 41 to round out the deck profile. Also see that we have some options like the Dragon Tail, because this is a dragon archetype that you can play as well. I haven't done much testing into that, but the fact that spheres can special summon out this and then this can turn into a fusion monster, I think is still pretty interesting. You'll also notice the Red Eyes engine, which is something more for the pure build, since you do kind of want a supplementary engine that you can get into, but I'll go over that momentarily. So onto the pure build, and one distinct difference is that we have a bunch of space left over because we aren't playing all the Riseal stuff, which means that our extra deck can start to look a little bit more generic, catered towards what the deck wants to do in regards to having dragon monsters that can go into seals, having the ability to really focus on going and getting your Power Patron, going into your rank 4 or the Drastius, really trying to make the playstyle about your strong boss monsters alongside the Doomsy Destruction. That said, it does come with some issues though, where you'll notice when you go into your Exceed plays, you are kind of vulnerable if your opponent has something like Droplet that can play around potential targeting. You aren't necessarily making big boards, which means that your opponent doesn't necessarily even need to have a lot of cards in order to respond to your board, which is kind of problematic, and that's why I introduced the idea of the Riseal build in this video. That said, I still think it's a very, very fun archetype that deserves more exploration. Alongside, I would like to see future support stick to its theme within this type of art, because I just think that it's an awesome direction for the game, and I think it's more of what this game needs, even though that might be a little bit irrelevant towards what the topic is. But all of that out of the way, I'm just going to get onto the card by card, as I feel I showed everything I wanted to in the combos. We have the 3 copies of Drastia, the 3 copies of Amalth, the 3 copies of Alara, the 3 copies of Raider, the 3 copies of Vizuna, the 1 copy of Lupus, the 1 copy of Red MD, 3 copies of Black Metal, 2 copies of Power Patron, copy of Magna Hut, 1 Mausoleum for your Blue Eyes Link that you can go into with the Black Metal, chain block the Black Metal so that you can get your Red Eyes Darkness and not have to worry about it. But then we have the 2 copies of Doom Dirge, the 2 copies of Destruction, the 6 Charmies, the 3 Ash Blossoms, and the 3 Drolls to round out the main deck. Onto the extra deck we have the Gorgon, SP, IP, Seals. We then have the 2 copies of the Blue Eyes Link, the 2 copies of Drastius, the Sky Blaster, the 1 copy of Ripper, the 2 copies of the Break, the 1 number 41, alongside the Exciton Knight. Now, in the options area, the one noticeable difference is that because you are on the black metal, you could technically play the 1-for-1. I just do feel that the Magna Hut is better because it's a hand trap as well, and even though it is a bit slower, it doesn't cost you any cards from hand outside of itself, which is why I chose to play the Magna Hut over the 1-for-1. Anyways, if you made it this far into the video, I thank you so much for watching and I hope you enjoyed. If you have any suggestions, feel free to leave them down below. And I also would like to mention before I sign out that I will likely be getting my headsets today, which means that I might be streaming some Night Rain tonight if you guys are interested in that. Not guaranteeing anything because I'm not for sure if they're coming in today. If they are, hopefully I'll see you around tonight. Anyways, it's Bones, signing out.